guys, welcome back to KC Farms. We're going to talk about 6 tips that will hopefully help you get started if you're thinking about getting into kunekune pigs. Some things that we had no clue about and that were intimidating when we started. I hope this helps. Hey guys, it's John from KC Farms. Thanks for tuning in today. We're going to start a 2-video series about 6 quick tips for new pig owners. We're going to talk about the first 3 today. Let's get started. So I can remember when we first got started with coonies, guys. We've been doing these for about 2 years now, and it was very intimidating when we started asking questions and trying to figure out what was what and what we should have for our farm. And so the first thing I want to talk about is terms that people use when they're talking about pigs, as far as boars and barrows and gilts, sows, dams, sires. Those were confusing to me at first, so I just want to talk quickly about what those are. And giddy up, pig. But a boar is obviously an intact male. A barrow is a castrated male. A gilt is a female that has not had a litter of piglets yet. A sow is a female that has had piglets before. And a dam is the mother of a pig. And the sire is the father of that piglet. So just some quick things about the names and terms with pigs. So the next thing we want to talk about is some of the pig lines, and these were very confusing to me at first. But I'll tell you what I do know about them. So I think there's around 18 different female lines and 11 boar lines. And I was trying to figure out how they give the name to the piglet. So you got a Arigiana gilt or Tonganui boar. I figured that out finally, which it's not that hard, but if you don't know, you don't know. So it's kind of confusing. But I'll show you Sassy and her piglets to kind of show you this. So Sassy is an Arigiana sow now because she's had a litter, and Kevin, she was bred to, we had Kevin in breeding with her, and so these are Kevin and Sassy's piglets. So she's an Arigiana, Kevin is a Tonganui. So the way that you would put your piglets down when you're registering them, any of the girls are going to be Arigiana gilts, and any of the boys will take the father's line, which is Tonganui. So those 2 black ones are boars, and Big Mac right there, those are all Tonganui boars because that's what their dad was. And all the white ones are gilts, so those take on the mother's line, which is Arigiana. So it took me a while to figure that out, and sometimes, like I said, you get embarrassed asking questions when you don't know things, but that's the only way to learn. So that is how the pigs get their line names. So if they're girls, they take their mother's line name, and the boars take the father's line. So that's a little bit about the line names. So talking quickly about registered and unregistered, we started with unregistered because we wanted meat pigs and we didn't want to pay for something we were going to eat. We've switched over to registered now because so many people are mixing these pigs with other pigs, and we wanted to make sure we got all the qualities and traits that coonies have and not mixed with something else. So that is why, here's one of our little gilts. That is why we've gone with just registered now. And we do have 2 unregistered pigs still, but we are gonna, you wonder, like, you don't want to eat your registered pigs, obviously, but not every pig is registerable. Some may have bad conformation, not good feet, some qualities that you don't want to keep passing down. So that's what we'll use for our meat in the future, is the pigs from our registered stock that we are not going to register and pay that extra price to register. So that's just a little bit about unregistered versus registered. That's just a personal choice. You can get both. If you just want to eat, maybe you just want unregistered stock because you don't want to pay the extra cost for registered. So that's something you need to decide when you get started in those pigs. Okay, we got a bonus tip. You've figured out what kind of pigs you're getting, whether you're getting 2 females, whether you're getting a breeding pair, or just some companion pigs, but you need to make sure you get more than just one. If you have one pig, they're going to get lonely, they're going to get bored, and they're a very social animal, so they need to have a companion. The best companion, if you've got 2 females and a boar, and you separate out your boar after your females have been bred, the best companion pig is a barrow, your castrated males. So make sure they always have a buddy, because pigs are very social animals. On to tip number 2. Okay guys, tip number 2 is about the feed and water. What to feed, how much to feed. There's many options and people do many different things. We're just going to talk about what we do. Firstly, obviously we have forage, which it's not as well this time of year. These are our boars, if you guys don't know. Some people do full forage. That's all they feed them. They're supposed to be a grazing hog. That's probably in climates where they have forage year-round. We don't have that available for them. So what we do feed is a 16% protein pellet, and we also mix in fence working, guys. We also mix in black oil sunflower seeds, which helps with their coat. We don't do that all the time, but we kind of do it as necessary. And so 16% protein pellet, fruits, vegetables, pumpkins, also their bedding. If you can see in there, we use hay for their bedding, so they'll pick through and eat that. Some people ask why we don't do straw, because straw is cheaper. We do hay because it's a supplement to their food. They eat what they want, and then they'll use the rest for bedding. Let's talk about amounts. In the summertime, when we have good forage, we do a cup in the morning and a cup in the evening. During the winter time, like it is now, we'll do 2 fence is working. We'll do 2 cups in the morning and 2 cups in the evening, and we'll give fruits and vegetables as we have available. In the summertime, we like to grow a lot of extra vegetables just for the pigs. So also all our extra eggs, the pigs will do the scrambled eggs, raw eggs, hard-boiled eggs. They're not too picky. They like the chicken eggs as well. So let's get these guys a little bit of this feed, and we'll talk about the bowls that we put in here for them. All right, that brings us to tip 3, feeders and waterers. We just gave them a little snack for the purpose of this video. It's not feed time, but obviously they don't mind. So people use a lot of different things for feeding. Some people just throw it out on the ground. Some people will use a rubber mat. We've chosen, some other people troughs. We've chosen to use these rubber bowls. They just work perfect for us. We feel we have less waste when they're in the bowls. And sometimes we'll talk about worming later, but sometimes if we want to add a supplement or something in their food that we want to make sure the pigs get and doesn't just get wasted in the ground, these bowls are great to pull out and put whatever we need in the feed. Also, when you have a lot of pigs, we don't have a lot in here, but if you have a lot of pigs, younger pigs, you can make sure you put an extra bowl. If you got 5 pigs, put 6 bowls in, just to make sure that every pig is getting what they need. Obviously some hogs are going to get more than the others, but at least you know that smaller one will be able to get the feed that it needs. So the rubber bowls is what we use, and they work great for us. We also use the rubber bowls for their waterers. When they get dirty, we just use a brush to clean them out. In the summer, they do lay in them and tip them out more when they get hot, but we have the kiddie pools and sandboxes that we put in here during the summer, and that helps a lot, and there's always water in those. So if we're not around and they need a drink, they can use those kiddie pools for the waterers. Another option to water that we used to use but we don't use no longer is up here by the barn. So let's check that out and we'll talk to you why we don't use that on our farm anymore. Okay, another option for your waterers are these nipple waterers, and we made one of these back when we first started. Pigs just come up here, push down on that nipple, and the water will come out. It worked all right for us for a while, but we move our pigs so much and it was hard to move this container. I had it on a pallet and I'd have to get a tractor, and we didn't want to have to use a tractor. We wanted things to be mobile and easy to use on our farm. But if you do choose this route, a couple tips: we put the nipple up a little bit higher just so there's always some weight of water in the bottom to help them. Pigs are going to push and scratch and itch on a lot of things, so you want it to have a little weight. We had a strap over top to help keep it on the pallet there, but it was just a lot harder to move, and it made moving a lot more difficult. So that's why we use the pans for watering. A quick tip, if you do choose this route, a lot of people just put peanut butter when they're training their pigs to the nipples. They'll put peanut butter on the nipples. The pigs will come up and try to get the peanut butter, and they'll figure out that the water is coming out of there. So that's a quick tip. I've seen people mount those nipples on these 50-gallon drums, just on buckets that they hang in the pen, and also they use little metal lines, and they just hook them up to a hose so the pigs always have access to water. If you're using a permanent pen, I think the nipples are a fantastic idea. If you're choosing to rotate a lot like we do, I would just go with the pan. I mean, they do tip it, like I said, but it's super easy to move, easy to clean, and it really works on our farm. So those are the first 3 tips, guys. Some pig terminology was tip 1. Tip 2 is what we feed and how much we feed. Tip 3 was the type of feeders and waterers we use. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Check us out on the next video for tips 4 through 6. See you on the next one, guys.